Greetings my fellow freaks and weirdos, I'm Tom and welcome to Monster Gab, where we love all things horror. And in today's episode I want to share with you my top 5 campfire stories told in horror movies. Just to reiterate, this is not my top 5 horror movies that feature campfire stories. The movies themselves could be awful, but if they have a good story told around a campfire, then they have a good chance of being on this list. How many times have you watched a horror movie where a bunch of kids are camping in the woods? It could be a summer camp or just a group of scouts, sat around a campfire in their sleeping bags toasting marshmallows. Then somebody tells a spooky ghost story before they all get butchered and maimed and picked off one by one. Sometimes the story is related to that of the movie. Other times it's just there to set the tone before the onslaught begins. Anyway, here's my list.
Number 5.
Bad Apples, from the movie The Willies, released in 1990. Stop laughing at the back. The Willies. I won't lie, this is a bad film. Of course, that is just my opinion. It does have its fans and there's some charm to it, but I do struggle to recommend it. 3 kids camp out in the backyard one night and tell creepy stories around a campfire. This is an anthology movie, so each story told has its own little film. One of those stories is called Bad Apples, which is about a boy who has no friends, well, except the school janitor, and is severely bullied by a bunch of nasty kids. One day he uses the school toilet, or bathroom to our American friends, and discovers a monster living there, which he uses to his advantage. Now, is this a good story? Well, maybe not, but it's one that I can personally relate to. Would you believe that I used to get bullied at school? Aww. Yes, I know, me. I mean, I had friends, but high school was not a happy time for me. I really could have used a toilet monster back then. So yeah, for that reason alone, this story makes it into my top 5.
Number 4.
The Cropsey Maniac, from 1981's The Burning. In this movie, Cropsey was the drunken, abusive caretaker at Camp Blackfoot. One night, the campers play a prank on Cropsey that goes horribly wrong, setting him on fire, leaving him burned and injured. Years later, he returns to take revenge. It's at Camp Stonewater this very tale is shared around a campfire. It's told far better than I've just explained it, with a couple of humorous moments to retain your attention. But it's mostly told in a serious, creepy manner. I like this story for what it is, and it helps set the tone for the rest of the film. Hey horror fans, this video is sponsored by Zealous Rebellious Clothing, who believe in encouraging self-confidence, self-expression, and the pursuit of passions without compromise. Based in North Wales, they use their passion for classic cars, music, film, and societal non-conformity to inspire their designs, with hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and much more, using only quality materials and prints. Be different, be rebellious. Zealous Rebellious Clothing. Check out their website, Facebook page, and other socials. Links in the description below.
Number 3.
The Legend of Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, Part 2, also released in 1981. I'm just going to assume that you've all seen the first Friday the 13th movie. If not, I'm going to give away a super uber spoiler in 3, 2, 1. The killer in that movie was none other than Jason's mother, Pamela Voorhees. I know! And Jason, who was supposedly dead in that movie, is still alive! What? And he wants revenge for his dead mother! Good lord! Oh, did I spoil the second movie for you too? On a side note, I genuinely do hate giving away spoilers for movies, however old they are. But there you go. Anyway, it's Friday the 13th, Part 2, and all of this is explained in a story told by a camp counsellor to others who are sat around, you guessed it, a campfire. The story feels similar to that of The Burning, as it's told in a similar way, with the same outcome happening at the end of the tale. And there I shall say no more. The reason I rank this particular campfire story higher is because of the sheer weight that it holds. This story is introducing Jason Voorhees, one of the biggest icons in the slasher horror genre. But the makers of this film weren't aware of that back then. No one could have predicted the legacy that followed these first two films. Listening to this story back in 1981 would have just been a generic creepy tale told in a horror movie. Listening to it now is kind of chilling, knowing what we know, knowing what is yet to come. Like I said, this story holds a lot of weight now.
Number 2.
The Legend of Madman Mars, from the movie Madman, released in 1981. Yeah, it's just a coincidence, but 3 of these films are from 1981. I guess they just loved campfire stories back then. Now, the movie Madman is also very closely related to the movie The Burning. Without cheating, if you know the reason why, put it in the comment section below. I know the reason why, but just trying to have a bit of fun here. So, in this movie, a group of campers are sat around, well, none other but a campfire. And after listening to a pretty weird song, I must say, we are treated to the tale of Madman Mars. Madman Mars, an abusive drunk who savagely killed his family one night with an axe, walked down to his local tavern, slammed his bloody axe on the bar, and ordered a beer. It's not so much the story that I love, though I do like the story too, but it's the way that it's told. My explanation was very vague. However, head counsellor Max seems to really enjoy telling this story and really gives it some passion too. In fact, I think the actor Frederick Newman, who plays Max, also enjoyed telling this story. And because of that passion and the way it's so very well told, it just engrosses you. The story itself too is pretty morbid. Okay, are you ready for my top pick?
Number 1.
Shipwreck at Spivey Point, from The Fog, 1980. Ooh, close. The story here is of a ship that was lost in the midnight fog 100 years ago. Mistaking the light of a campfire for a lighthouse, the ship headed towards the light, crashed into the rocks of the shore, sunk, and the crew all drowned. Legend has it the ghosts of the sailors on board will return 100 years later during the night in the fog in search of the light of a campfire. Firstly, not only is this story chilling, but it's told to some fairly young children. The kids in the previous campfire stories that I mentioned earlier were mostly teenagers or young adults, but in this particular movie, they're pretty young. Secondly, the fact that the campfire is the key element to the travesty in this story, and the one thing that these vengeful spectres are in search for, is just genius. You know, the thing that everyone just happens to be sat around. Again, the way that this story is told gets full marks. It's just so captivating. The thing I love the most, though, is the story itself. A real ghost story with a traditional folklore feel about it. But seriously, go and listen to this story and the way that it's spoken. It's just so incredibly cold. Anyway, folks, that is my top 5 picks of campfire stories told in horror movies. What did you think? Please do let me know in the comments section below. And if you have any picks of your own, please do let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. Once again, let me know in that comment section. Anyway, that's all we've got time for in this particular video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and until next time. I don't know who they are, but if you don't subscribe, they will get you. So make sure you are indeed subscribed. Click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new video here on Monster Gab. Like the video if you did indeed like it. Share this with your friends and leave that comment down there. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.